Well, good evening, everyone. No, it's morning. Beg my pardon. It's evening for Tom Chenault. This is Bronnie here for another day in Bronnie's World, and we're up to day 997. And here in Australia, it's Spiritual Sunday for me. However, I have a special guest for you today, and I actually think he's probably perfect for Spiritual Sunday because he has a heart of gold. How can I express how I feel about this man? He loves people to death. His motto is love like crazy, then love more, which he has on his shirt. Yeah, pick it up. And I have picked that up from him. And I love that phrase because I guess really is something that those who really know me is what I do. I just love on people and I love like crazy, then love more. Now, Tom has a really, really brilliant story, I think. He's from where he's come from to where he is. It warms my heart. I know it will warm a lot of people's heart and you will relate to it. And I want you to know all about Tom Chenault. He is a Black Diamond ambassador in our Youngevity business, but it hasn't always been there. And it hasn't always been easy for him to get there, or any of us. Right? That's just what life's like. So I want to hand it over to Tom because he is also known as the Great Rememberer. That's his bit of a tagline. And he remembered me is some godly hour for him through the night last night. So I'm going to hand it over to Tom and let you take it away, Tom, because you just, oh, I love you and I love your wife, Denice, who's in Italy. So we've got you all to ourselves. Take it away, Tom. Love you.
Thanks a lot, Bronwyn. And they do call me the Great Rememberer because my whole goal in my life is to remember things about you, because I know what you love most about me is what I remember about you. And that's the magic potion that I've been able to be really, really successful for in network marketing for over 30 years. And it's been a great career. And I have been able to really walk among the titans of the profession with very little talent. I mean, I'm not that big trainer. I'm not that big thinker. I'm not that philosopher. I'm the great rememberer. And it's worked out really well because this business called network marketing and this business called life, having a great life, is all about remembering people. I don't care if it's your husband or your wife on their birthday. I don't care what it is. Remembering the important things to the person across the table is the answer. And I was many years an alcoholic, a terrible alcoholic. And I was a very successful, high-functioning alcoholic, but an alcoholic nevertheless. And in 1988, I got two disturbing the pieces, which is mean causing a ruckus, and two, driving under the influence of alcohol, which is operating a motor vehicle while drinking too much. Two terrible things. And all of that happened in 1 month. And at that point, my life came crashing down around me. And not only did I end up in lots of trouble legally, I was in lots of trouble maritally and business-wise, professionally. And I had to reinvent myself completely. They say, what do you need to change to truly stay sober for the rest of your life? And the answer is everything. And so I had to change everything. I had to change my playmates and my playthings. I had to change professions. I had to change everything. And the last house on the block, because I could not get a job anywhere. No one wanted to hire me, even coming off of a pretty good career as an investment person. No one wanted to touch me with a 10-foot pole. And as a result, I ended up in this crazy world called multi-level network marketing. And the rest is history. I figured a way to do it real, real well without compromising myself. And that was, instead of absolutely accosting everybody with the opportunity in grocery stores and everywhere you go, I decided that it would be better by a long shot for me to treat people like human beings instead of prospects, and do what I could to find out what they wanted to buy, find out what they didn't want to buy, wait a couple days and come back to them and sell them what they said they wanted to buy, but never make them mad. And so my whole goal was to have a ton of people in my database with the stories of their life. You told me earlier and before that the stories are the most important thing. And people tell us stories all day long, and we promptly forget them to go to the next person that's our prospect, not realizing that person we just left might not be a prospect today, but might be in 5 years if you're really kind to them. And when they are that super serious prospect, they're going to come and find you. And that's all I do, Bronwyn. And it works. That's how come you and I are such good friends. We fell in love with one another during COVID because I realized during COVID that the opposite of addiction is true human connection. And in isolation of COVID, nobody was becoming true humanly connected. And so we started Zoom differently than anybody else, I believe. Almost everybody's adopted it, where we did not let anybody hide. We had the cameras on, no matter how bad we looked. And we went there playing like we were going there for business, but we were scared to death. We were lonely. We didn't know how it was going to turn out. And we were there more for each other than we were for business. And all I've done is extend that COVID mindset into the rest of my life for the rest of my life, because I know that I love the people more than anything. And I know those people want to be loved more than anything. And I know I want to be loved more than anything. So what I did was I figured out this thing called the BLTSs, which is, like a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, except this one stands for, do people feel like they belong in my tribe? Yeah. Do they know I love them? Yeah. Do they know they can trust me? Yeah. Are they safe with me? Yeah. And as a result of that, we're all in the same community, feeling the same way about each other, and we'll do literally anything for each other. So last night, she just said a minute ago, my wife is in Italy, and so it's very lonely in my house, and I'm not used to that. And I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep. So I just looked for green dots on Facebook, and then I called them on the phone, and Bronwyn picked up. And we had the best chat in her middle of the day, my middle of the night, because I know that I've got the BLTs with Bronwyn. She'll pick up that phone, she'll talk to me, and I wasn't so lonely anymore. And now I've got a huge business in network marketing, a gigantic business, and it's all predicated upon that. And there's no smoke and mirrors. It's people loving one another, and it's no fakeness. The fakeness is the people with the big titles and the big checks and all that act like they give a rat's about people just to get the money. And, you can tell how good they are by how fast they call you back, how fast they call you, period, how fast they call you first. That's where the hypocrisy lies, is he or she who calls first wins. But we are all waiting, especially the bigger our check gets, the more we think we're so entitled that, I don't call anybody. If they need help, they're going to call me. Well, that's the fastest way to lose my wife. I'll guarantee you one thing right now. My wife, I start acting like that, she's going to find the pool boy in a hurry. I call first all the time. So yeah, that's kind of like me, Bronwyn. I've had a hard time at this business because I tried to be everybody but me. I tried to be those big time network marketers, but I made a lousy Eric Worre. I made a lousy Ray Higdon. I made a lousy Cheryl Morley or Paul Croto or Louis Ariaza or Scott Parduas. I'm none of those guys. They've got their skill sets. I've got mine. And when I fell in love with Tom Chenault and being as good a Tom Chenault as I can be and teaching Bronwyn Clinton to be the best Bronwyn Clinton, we go back to COVID. We're having these dance parties on Friday night, Saturday morning in Australia. And this wild woman on the patio just came out of nowhere, and she was dancing her face off. And she had absolutely no regard to how looking good or anything else. She wasn't trying to be Denice Chenault. She wasn't trying to be Cheryl Morley. She wasn't trying to be Lanny Sharp or anybody else. She was her best Bronwyn. And that's when I fell in love with you, kid.
Oh, thank you. Well, look, Tom, that's what I actually love about you as well, is there's no fakeness there. And I have, lived my life at being me. I don't believe in fakeness, and I don't like people being fake with me. Sorry. And that's what I have loved about you and Denice and our community, the guys on our Hair on Fire call and your training calls. we are family. We found a family that connects. We love on each other. We look out for each other. We pray for each other. We just, we're just there for each other. And it's, I, it's so hard to describe. You just have to be part of the community. And, we're all a bit crazy, and that's what's great about us is we're all can be ourselves and don't have to pretend to be someone we're not. And
If you call me about product, if you call me about your sore toe, if you call me about some chronic illness, I'm going to look at you and say, if you listen to what I say about that, you're probably going to die, because I'm not that guy. But nobody ever calls me about that because I make it really, really clear I'm not that guy. Not that I don't know the information. You have no idea whether I know. It's not what excites me. It's not what moves me. My job is to be a hope merchant. I'm a tour guide and I'm a talent scout. And I have a massive goal. And that is to have you feeling better, Bronwyn, about yourself having met me than you did when you got there that day. And the only way that I can do that is drop you off right where you want to be. Not throw some agenda at you that you need to go learn the 8-minute trader, or you need to go do this, or you need to go do that. No, no, no. My job is to let you figure all that out, but let you know that you're loved. You can trust us, that you're safe and you belong. That's it. And that's my whole job. And build an army of people wanting to build their army of people. And me helping do that, because network marketing is nothing more than product delivery via word of mouth, not via word of perk, not via word of like, not via word of trick or smoke or mirrors. Human beings talking to human beings. And all these hot shots that came from corporate America think that they can they can use their data, their stats, to make us believe that there's an easier way than human beings talking to human beings. But we whip them in the end. And that's the beautiful thing about it, because all their analytics are getting nothing for them except more disliked. And what happens out of, I use numbers all the time, don't get me wrong, about figuring out why things are going on, all the trends. But when you completely throw the human being out of the equation for the analytic, you're missing the boat. And what I want you to do is exactly like you're doing. 997 straight videos, 997 straight letting us see your soul, 997 times willing to look stupid to be good. That's what happened. And you became good. No, you became great. And it's only going to get better. I know you're not stopping after 1,000. You may redirect after you looked at your own 997 or 1,000 analytics. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now. All you have done through this 1,000 person run is find Bronwyn Clinton, and she's never getting away again. And that's exciting to me.
Oh, thank you, Tom. Am I red?
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, dude, you warm my heart. And that's what I love about you. And those dance ones, gosh, it just connected. They were a great connection. The dance parties via Zoom. Who would have ever thought? See, I always believe that in every cloud has a silver lining. Now, as crazy as the last almost 3 years have been with COVID, there's been a silver lining. And Tom, you are part of my silver lining. You know,
Josie. Yeah, and the cool thing about it is, Bronwyn, is you're part of my silver lining. So we so need each other. And when you get arrogant in this business, when you start believing your paycheck instead of your heart, you think everybody needs you so much, but you really don't need them. And you change your tune and you put yourself in that ivory tower. And I will tell everybody, never go there. Be Bronwyn Clinton. Be your true self. Forget all that noise. Forget those business books. Use your heart, not your brain. In fact, I've got a t-shirt that says fire your brain, hire your heart. Do that, because I promise you, you may make a tiny bit less money, which I seriously doubt. I think you're going to make a whole lot more money, but I'm going to tell you what, you're going to be a whole lot happier and people are going to like you a lot more.
Yes. Actually, thank you, Tom. Again, going red. And just when you said that, actually reminded me another quote you always say, or always call us all, we are a bunch of misfits, but we're a
Yeah,
lovely bunch of misfits. And I love that. I love that, because we are. Well,
we
Tom,
are. We're all a bunch of nuts. But I'll guarantee you one thing right now,
it's,
that there is in that group, there's a wrench to fit every one of us. And that's what's so beautiful because, God made us just the way we are. And when I finally fell in love with that fact, that was when things started to shift for me because, I became authentic and vulnerable to a fault. But I'll tell you one thing right now, it works for me. I can cry at the drop of a hat about literally anything because my heart's finally soft. And I want it to be that way. I never want to forget my first 90 days in sobriety. And I never want to forget my first 90 days in network marketing. The hard, the impossible. It was impossible to stop drinking. It was impossible to get this crazy network marketing ball rolling. And that guy over my shoulder right there, I could have pictures of Steve Jobs there. I could have Elon Musk. I could have anybody there, but he's there. And why? He reminds me every day of that first 90 days of where I was headed until I turned the bus around. And now I know I'm going a different direction. And I love that because I know that anything's possible today. And I happen to have chosen the network marketing model for a lot of reasons. One, a ton of money can be made. Two, there's no cap on the income. Three, it's unbelievably fair. Four, it rewards hard work. Nobody can be entitled to the top. I love all that. And, all I am is, like I said earlier, a hope merchant. The products are great. I have to love the products. I have to love the company. I understand that in 3 days, you've got Steve Wallach, who's the CEO of Youngevity on here. I have to love the management team. I understand yesterday you had Sean Brown, the director of sales on here or something. I don't know what his title is these days, but whatever his title is, you have him. And at the end of the day, that is so awesome. That is so completely awesome. Because I'm telling you one thing right now, you're doing important work. And the reason that you're doing important work is you're showing people the humanness of the machine. And the machine that is humanized is going to do better than the one that is robotized, even though everybody's trying to tell you different with their click funnels and their this and their that's to try to make you not work and not be human beings. I am telling you, Bronwyn, don't change a thing. You are awesome.
oh, thank you, Tom. Listen, I'm going to set this camera on fire if you at this rate. Again, I love the human connection, and that's what I love about you. Is you? I thought, we all think that we know that until we find someone who has found a better way to get that human connection, and you have a tool that you and your son have put together called contact mapping, and I believe I'm still trying to work it out. And I know it's not hard. It may be just hard because of where I am. But anyway, you've done a great job with that. And it reminds me to remember everybody because we get busy.
Okay. So in America, I don't know if it's a horrible acronym in Australia as well, but in America, when you say F you to somebody, they don't normally like hearing that. And the reason is people are allergic to those two words, F you. And it's because they're so scared to death of follow up. F you, follow up. And the reason they're afraid of it, you thought I was going to say something else. No, F you.
Yeah.
So follow up is the is nobody likes to do it. Nobody likes to follow up. You got a whole list of people you got to follow up. Nobody wants to do that. I hate to pick up the phone and get followed up by somebody, oh, I know that I haven't, the whole noise of the follow up. I want to be remembered. If I'm remembering you, I don't follow up my wife on our wedding anniversary. I don't follow up my children on their birthdays. I don't follow up anybody I love. I remember those people. Why not remember everybody? Just disappear the word follow up. And we built a company called contactmapping.com. And we built a philosophy of teaching people to remember. So what we tell people to do is interview 2 people a day, which is pretty doggone easy. You interview them and you find out what it is about their life and you write it down, you document it. And we have on a desktop, and we've got an app for that where you don't even have to write, you speak it into the phone. And when that's done, you hit save. And from there, it says, when are you going to remember Bronwyn Clinton? And then it's good. So then that day comes along, and maybe Bronwyn's got some stuff going on because she's trying to do her 1,000 videos, and she's not going to have any time for the next couple of weeks. So I'm not going to call her tomorrow because she said a couple of weeks. But when she told me to call, I'm going to call her that day, and she's going to already be surprised. And then she's going to say yes, no, or maybe, or I might not even do anything except remember something about her. And the next thing you know, I'll talk about her on her bicycle. I'll talk to her about something that I love about her that's different from anybody else. And then because I can just sense that she's not ready to buy what I've got to sell, or I haven't interviewed her enough to figure out what it is she wants to buy that I've got to sell. So I'm just going to be kind to her. And then I'm going to take some notes, and I'm going to hit save again and push her out another month or so until I have that point where she goes, holy cow, this Tom Chenault's for real. He cares about me. I'm not a transaction. I'm not a prospect. It is relational. He cares. Geez, I think I could do this. I could build a business based on remember and love. And guess what? It will be as long lasting as you want to be able to do it. It's not going to be this join you with a click and leave you with a click. So yeah, Bronwyn, it's by far the best. I love it. And it works. So you go to contactmapping.com. It costs $1 a day, so it's not free. Is it worth $1 a day? That's your call. I don't know. That $5 cup of coffee probably isn't. Huh?
If you use it right, it would be, definitely. Because who
Yeah,
doesn't want to be remembered?
Well, if you go buy if you go buy that flat white in the coffee shop for $3 Australian, and you throw it in the gutter, you didn't use that flat white right. You threw it away. But if you drank it because it was perfectly made and you got a $3 out of it, it would be perfect. It's the same thing with anything. You gotta take it seriously and do it right. And that's what I do. I teach people to take it every day. We have a community. I talked about the VLTSs. I taught, lots of people have tools. Lots of people have systems. Lots of people have cultures. But the big winners have the communities where everybody feels a part of, where they're rowing the boat together toward a big, better life. That's what we do. And we do it inside of Youngevity and contact mapping. And contact mapping is not a Youngevity product. It's a Tom Chenault product. It's a Tom Chenault philosophy. I don't do contact mapping. I don't do contact mapping. I am contact mapping. What's that?
And it's a good one because, like you said, no one likes the word follow up or the FU, but everyone loves to be remembered. I don't know anyone who doesn't love to be remembered. And anyone who says they don't, I think they're probably lying to themselves, if the truth be known.
That's exactly right. So how have I made that into a life? I mean, I took that philosophy into my Alcoholics Anonymous. I go to a meeting every day. We read this book's, there's the first 164 pages of this book. I've been reading every day for 12,400 days because I go to an AA meeting every day. And why am I telling you that? There's nothing new that I'm going to read in that 164 pages, but I'm there with my friends. I'm there with my community. So that's tribe number one for Tom Chenault. Then I've got my contact mapping community. That's tribe number two.
Oh, Tom, Your sound cut out. Your sound's cut out for some reason. We can't hear you. I don't know why. Your sound's cut out.
Can you hear me at all?
I can hear you now. Can hear you now. I don't know what happened there. You cut out right at the good moment.
That is so weird.
It is.
I don't know what happened.
No, because you didn't mute or anything. It just did it.
I'm using this. So I'm using this very snazzy microphone. So there's no reason in the world why it's not working. So I just checked to see that it was still plugged in. So sorry about that, Bronwyn, but whatever happened. But I just probably wasn't supposed to be saying what I was talking about. So yeah, I've got 3 communities in my life: Youngevity, Contact Mapping, and Alcoholics Anonymous. And they're they're interspersed. Is that cool enough?
Yes, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Anyway, and your beautiful wife Denice loves you just the way you are. And I love how she is part of your work, part of your training, a part of our network. How does that? A lot of people I find in this business, the ones that are successful who are married, if they do it together as husband and wife, it just makes it all that much better, doesn't it? Do you feel?
Yeah. It's a great thing. There again, she's so much nicer than me. She's so much smarter. But what happens is I don't try to be Denice, and Denice doesn't try to be Tom. So there's 2 of us, so we're twice as powerful as one. And we aren't Tom clones or Denice clones. We're 2 very powerful people, good at 2 very different things, working toward the same goal. And that's cool. Go ahead.
And that's what relationships are about, isn't it? Is marrying those 2 connections together for a greater outcome. And either way, you both remember everybody. And that I love. Is just, you're gorgeous people. I love you both. And we have fun together, don't we?
I am telling you, it's a blast. I love you with all of my heart. I don't know another person so committed to being magnificent as you. And, I have an American timeline. So obviously I live here. So my clock for me is far different than Bronwyn's. And Bronwyn rearranges her life around my schedule. And that is unbelievable. And getting to rearrange my schedule around Bronwyn today was truly an honor. I love you guys, all of you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Tom. And well, with that said, we might leave it there here in Bronnie's World today. And remember, my friends, to stay safe, stay informed, be empowered, but do not live in fear. And when you have an absolutely amazing connection, remember a friend like Tom Chenault, you will be powerful, beautiful, brilliant, and most definitely very brave. And if you want to come and join our community, Hair on Fire, and check us out, check Tom out and us Misfit groups, let us know, and we will be happy to have you come and join us. Monday to Friday here in Australia. It's, oh gosh, you guys go off daylight savings this weekend, so it's going to be even later at night. So it's 11:30, so it'll be probably 12:30. Well, midnight. It's probably not the time of year to do it. In winter, our winter, it's 10:30. At the moment, it's 11:30, and you guys go off daylight savings. Am I correct? This weekend?
Yep.
So that'll make it 12:30 a.m. Yes, a.m. So after midnight for me. So I mightn't be on so many nights. But anyway, it's a lovely group of people and they're family. And if you're feeling lonely and you want to feel like you belong, come join us on the Hair on Fire call, wherever you are in the world. And I'm sure Tom will let you in. Just let us know.
Nobody here, and I know you're trying to shut this down. Nobody's excluded. This is not some subscription deal where you're excluded. There is nobody that doesn't matter to us. You matter to us. I don't care if you ever make a penny. If you're kind, if you're trying to be a better person, if you're sad, anything we can do to hold you in our hands until you feel better so you can go help some other people, you are part of our crowd and we will never kick you out. Right, Bronwyn?
Exactly. Yes, because
Okay.
you matter. That's one of my taglines, is because you matter.
All right.
All right. Well, God bless you all. Thank you so much, Tom, for your time, your valuable time. I know it's valuable, and taking the time to spend this little bit of, well, how, I don't even know how long it is, doesn't really matter, time with us today here in Bronnie's World. And we'll talk again soon. Because, like, well, we talk nearly every day, you and I, but maybe I'll have Tom back as a guest again another day. Not tomorrow, because gotta give you
I don't want to be guest number 998, but soon. I love you.
your guest today. Anyway, well, so God bless you all, and I'll catch you again tomorrow here in Bronnie's World.